Growing up, Grandpa Jack was a ghost. Not the spooky kind. The kind that lives in black and white photos on the mantel, in folded flags on dusty shelves, in the way my mom never finished her stories. He left in 1972. Army, 101st Airborne, Vietnam. Wrote letters, sent back a photo of him holding a dog, grinning like he didn't believe in fear. Then, one day in June 1975, my grandmother got a knock at the door. 2 men, 1 folder. Missing in action, presumed dead. That was it. They never found the body, never sent back dog tags. Just a flag in a wooden case and a certificate with a typo in his middle name. I grew up staring at that flag, wondering what presumed dead really meant. My name's Lily. I'm 29, archivist at the Nevada Veterans Documentation Center. I scan old military files, box them, label them, digitize, forget. Until I found one box that didn't belong. It was sealed in red tape, stamped Clearance Level 4, Restricted Materials. No barcode, no digital record. No one told me to catalog it. I should have reported it. I didn't. I opened it. Inside, manila folders, dozens, each labeled with handwritten names, dates from 1975 to 1992. One caught my eye. Gaines, Jack D. Do not transfer. I froze. That was Grandpa's name. Same spelling. Same middle initial. The file was thick. Too thick for someone presumed dead. I opened it. First page, black and white photo. Taken in 1983. A man in a jumpsuit. Tired eyes, beard, caged background. Stamped NVFAC 27. Not Vietnam. Not even overseas. Nevada Facility 27. Second page, behavioral notes. Subject remains lucid. Declines medication. Repeats claims of being framed. Third page, medical report. Vitals stable. Memory intact. Muscle tone consistent with military profile. Refuses to accept current reality. Fourth page, memo from Department of Defense. Continue containment. Subject deemed high risk for political destabilization. I stopped breathing. This wasn't a missing soldier. This was a prisoner. I searched our internal system. No listing for Facility 27. No address. No staff. No funding trail. But I found one mention, buried in a 1979 congressional report. A single line. Redacted site active. Subject retention program ongoing. I went home and dug out every letter my grandma had saved. The handwriting, the phrasing, the jokes. Then I looked at the scanned notes from 1983. Same hand. Even the way he dotted his eyes, like tiny stars. He'd been alive. 8 years after they said he was dead. Maybe longer. I told my mom. She didn't believe me at first. Then she saw the photo, dropped it, sat down and whispered, "He's alive?" I said, "I think so. Or he was. And the government's hiding it." We contacted the VA. They hung up. I emailed the Pentagon. No response. I tried a journalist. They ghosted me. Then I got a letter. No return address. Typed, folded, simple. It read, "We know what you found. Walk away, or he disappears again. This time for good." But I couldn't. Because now it wasn't just about Grandpa. It was about every soldier they buried in silence. Every flag they handed out like a bandage. I quit my job. Started tracking veterans from that file box. Cross-referenced every name. At least 7 were also MIA, all in the same year, 1975, all declared dead without remains. One woman, widow of a Marine, told me, "I always said he was still out there." People laughed. I showed her a photo. She cried, said, "That's my Michael, that's him." In 1986, but they said they lied. That's when I knew. There were more, maybe dozens, maybe hundreds. And Facility 27, still active. I booked a flight, one way, to the desert, to find it, to find him. Even if I had to break into a government black site myself. I landed in Nevada with nothing but a backpack, 3 scanned files, and the name NFAC 27 burned into my brain. No GPS match, no official listing. But veterans on the forums knew whispers. One post, buried on a message board for ex-military contractors, caught my eye. Worked NV-27 in '84. Sand, fences, no exit doors. I messaged the poster, alias Warden Ghost. He replied, "You won't like what you find." Then he sent coordinates. No name, just Northern Perimeter, Old Shack, sunset only. I rented a car, drove 4 hours into nowhere. Red rocks, dust trails, radio static. I found the shack. Half collapsed, smelled of rust and old sweat. He was there. Gray beard, navy jacket, worn eyes, name tag long gone. He looked at me and said, "You're Jack's girl." I nodded, couldn't speak. He said, "He was strong. They couldn't break him. That's why they kept him." I asked what the place was. He looked past me, eyes fogged. NVFAC 27 was never a prison. Not officially. It was containment. They took vets who knew too much, saw too much, came back with the wrong stories. Wrong stories? He lit a cigarette, shook his head. Jack talked, not about the war, about what happened after. He said his unit stumbled onto a mission they weren't supposed to see. Black site, no tags, no country. He reported it. Next thing we knew, he was unstable. They pulled him from record, sent him here, buried him in red tape. I showed him the photo. He nodded slowly. Last time I saw him was '89, still lucid, still fighting. Said he had a daughter, a granddaughter someday. I said, "I'm here." He smiled, then pointed to the hills. Facilities still live, buried, automated perimeter, motion sensors, cameras. You won't make it far on foot. I asked, "Can I get in?" He paused, then handed me a torn patch. Military, faded print, active security, access green, Tier 1 observer. This used to work. I don't know if it still does, but it's better than nothing. He handed me a paper map. There's a maintenance duct, north wall, only way in without tripping the alarm. I asked why he was helping me. He said, "Because no one helped us, and because Jack saved my life once. My turn." That night, I didn't sleep. Just stared at the stars and whispered, "Hold on, Grandpa. I'm close." Next morning, I hiked in at dawn. Desert burned red and gold. The compound didn't look like anything from outside, just a ridge. But as I got closer, I saw vents, sensors, and a single black panel on a rock. I swiped the patch. The light blinked green. A gate in the dirt slid open. My heart pounded. I climbed down. Metal walls. Air recycled and cold. No sound. I crept through a narrow corridor. The smell was sterile, heavy. Signs on walls. Section C, observation. Silence mandatory. No eye contact. Then I heard it, a voice, hoarse, soft, from behind a grated panel. "Did they send you? Are you real?" I froze, whispered, "Jack?" The voice shook. "No one calls me that anymore." I found the hatch, used a crowbar. Inside, a cell. No windows, just a cot. And a man, thin, beard gone gray, eyes sharp. He stood. Tears welled up. "You're Lily." I nodded. My throat closed. "How do you know?" He smiled faintly. "Because you look like your mom, and I've dreamed this face for 40 years. We hugged through the bars. His hand shook in mine. They told me no one remembered, that the world moved on. I said, "We never forgot. I found the files, the photo, everything." He said, "They'll come. You have to go. Get out. Tell them. Burn this place down." I said, "Not without you." He looked at the walls. "These doors don't open from inside. Only one way out is through their command hub." I made a choice. I took a photo of him through the bars, held his hand one more time. "I'll be back. And next time, we walk out together." I escaped through the vent. Barely. Drones scanned the sky by the time I hit the edge. That night I emailed every news outlet, attached the photo. Only one replied, "This is impossible. But if it's real, we'll help." The photo went viral in 6 hours. Aged man, bare cell. Caption: veteran declared dead in 1975. Found alive in secret government facility. My inbox exploded. Families messaged me. Widows, sons, grandkids, all with the same question. Do you think ours is there too? The Department of Defense denied everything, called it a doctored image, a sick hoax. But veterans knew the truth. One by one, old names surfaced. Men marked missing with no grave, no goodbye. I posted the file index anonymously. 82 names, with dates, places, tags. Within 48 hours, a congressional subcommittee opened an inquiry. Veterans gathered outside the Pentagon, flags upside down. Signs read, "We never left you. Find them. We remember." The DOD went silent. That night, my phone rang. Blocked number. I almost didn't answer. Then the voice said, "You need to run." I packed and moved to a safe house a journalist provided. Claire's old contact. They gave me a burner laptop. I uploaded every document, every scanned page. But I didn't stop. I did interviews. Spoke to every outlet that would listen. I told the world, my grandfather served his country, and his country buried him alive. How many more are down there, waiting? The tipping point came on day 6. A former facility guard came forward, anonymous at first, then public. He showed a patch, same as Grandpa's. He said, "They kept those men sedated, told us they were dangerous, but they were just old, scared, silenced." That broke the dam. The president made a statement. "If what is being reported is true and the evidence is mounting, it is a disgrace beyond words." They launched a joint task force. 4 senators flew to Nevada. A judge signed an emergency order to open Facility 27. I was there when they cut the locks. It was 6:43 a.m. Sun rising like fire. The gates slid open. Agents in hazmat suits. Medics. Press. I walked in behind them. Down that same corridor. Through the same duct. To the same cell. The door was open now. He stood there, wearing new clothes, hair trimmed, shaved, eyes wide. He whispered, "You kept your word." I hugged him, harder than I ever thought I could. He stepped outside for the first time in 48 years. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted, but he just stood still, staring at the sky. He whispered, "I thought I'd never see it again." 18 other men were found inside, all veterans, all missing, all alive. Not all made it. 2 passed in the weeks after release, but they died free, with names again, with families. Grandpa lived with us. At first, he barely spoke, woke up screaming, refused to sleep with the light off. But then, he drew, told stories, laughed. He built a garden. He said, "They took half my life, but they didn't take my soul." Congress passed the Jack Gaines Veteran Justice Act, funding for trauma therapy, protections for whistleblowers. No more black sites. At least, not like that. His story became a documentary, a book, even a film. But he always said, "The only story I care about is that someone came looking." I tell students now, at schools, universities, veteran halls, I say, he wasn't forgotten, he was taken. And that means we owe it to every vet to remember that missing doesn't mean gone. My grandpa was declared dead in 1975. In 2025, he came home. And this time, we never let him go. Thank you for watching. If you want to get more that kind of stories, press like and check out our channel.